Hello, it's been a minute. Welcome to another review. As you've probably guessed by now, this week what I have is the Chery Tiggo 7 Pro Max, and this current model that I'm in is the executive model, meaning top of the line, top spec. So bear with me on another one of my yes guys, that is the indicator tone. Let's just get into it. So here we are, Chery Tiggo 7 Pro Max executive model. I'm not going to repeat that every single time I start the next clip, because I mean this video will be another 20 minutes. I'm going to try and keep this one short today. The Chery Tiggo 7 Pro has a 1.6 litre turbocharged engine, 4 cylinders, which cool. Pumping out a fairly substantial, on paper, fairly substantial 145 kilowatts and 290 newton meters of torque, which is fairly decent. My everyday drive is also an SUV, 7-seater, fairly large, more sportier of the models, and that actually doesn't have on paper the same power output as this. So Chery have done a good job in terms of the sort of nippiness and power. It's made it to a 7-speed dual clutch gearbox, which I can't quite put my finger on. The title of this video will probably sum up what I feel about this vehicle, but I will say, on the open road, on general driving, gearbox nice and smooth. I really don't have any hassles. My only issue with this gearbox, and maybe it's just the power delivery, I don't know, I'm not that advanced when it comes to how vehicles work and all of that, but first gear is like pulling off with like 3 turbos attached to your butt. Like, it's I don't know how else to explain it. It really just, like, there's no chill, there's zero chill when you pull off the line. It just like goes, and then you're in 3rd gear, but then it wants to go back to 2nd, and then it figures it out, and then you're cool, and then it's totally fine. But anyway, I digress. The price of this vehicle, the Chery Tiggo 7 Pro Max Executive, you're looking at around just under 610,000 Rand. I believe it's 609,900 Rand. And yeah, I'm going to be honest with you, it gets you a lot of car. So let's get into a little bit of that. Let's talk a little bit about the interior, exterior, and all the things you probably care about. Alright, so the interior of this vehicle, honestly, very little to complain about. In these Cherys, you get these really nice sports seats. They're leather, perforated leather. Reason that they are perforated, A, for comfort and suppleness, but B, this executive model actually has aircon and heated seats, which I'm always a huge advocate for, a huge fan of. Just having heated seats is one thing. Having the aircon, I mean, that's a game changer. It's really, really cool. Keeps your butt cool in summer. They've done a great job with the styling of this vehicle, interior and exterior. Everything has a really nice finish, or almost everything has a very nice finish. You've got leather doors, leather on the steering wheel, leather armrest, leather seats. Everything really does look and feel quite premium, which is great. Where I think they've brought the costs down somewhat is with little things like switches and that kind of thing. So for example, it has a beautiful panoramic roof, something you want, something that's been driving me mad. Listen to that. The actual button is plastic, as it would be in any other vehicle. I just feel like it feels flimsy. It doesn't feel, it just doesn't feel like it's gonna last. And that's one very, very small thing. I mean, like, there's not much else I can actually think of off the top of my head where it feels cheap. So maybe a minor thing. Yeah, so interior styling, fantastic. You have a curved, I believe it's a 24.6-inch screen. If you've watched any of my reviews before, you'll know how much I hate everything being touch sensitive. Unfortunately, in the Chery Tiggo 7 Pro Max Executive, it's no different. Everything, your aircon, your infotainment system, everything is touchscreen, which annoys me, because to try and do anything simple, you've got to look away from the road, and I can't find it, or you know, it's just yeah, it drives me mad. Like, just give me buttons. It does have a whole bunch of driving modes, which make of that what you will. I believe this is an all-wheel drive system, so there are different drive modes: eco mode, normal mode, snow mode, mud mode, whatever other modes there are, which I guess could come in handy, as well as this model having a lot of other really cool features. I'm not going to go through all the tech of this vehicle, because I honestly think we'll be here all day. Are you going to drive, lady? It's a four-way stop. That's all right. Sorry. So yes, there's a lot of tech in this vehicle. I think that's something that these Chinese brands do very, very well. It is something that prior to testing these kinds of vehicles, I always thought I'd be really into. Like, I'm a techie guy, I like when things do cool things, but I have found that a lot of the tech of this car drives me insane, and I want to turn it off. Something as simple as the key registers when you're close by, you don't have to unlock or lock using the touch on the door, or obviously the button. You just approach the vehicle, and it unlocks for you. That's great in theory when it's just you popping to the shops and back and that kind of thing. If you happen to bump into a friend at the shops, or you're standing just a little too close to the car having a conversation, your car will unlock and relock and unlock and relock every 3 seconds, and it irritates me. So you can turn all those features off and select what you want it to do. I'm just giving you examples of how clever this vehicle is in terms of tech. But yes, loads and loads of tech in this vehicle. Turn off the vehicle, the seat's going to move back to allow you to get out. When you get back in and start the car, it'll move back to the same driving position that it was at before. That's a very cool feature. I think that's nice. It's fancy. It's like, ooh, wow, you know, does some fancy things. It's cool. All right, let's get on to some of the exterior styling. So on the exterior, as you can see, I think they've done a fantastic job. This car is a very good looking car as far as SUVs go. Yeah, it's what first attracted me to it, to be honest, is just the way that it looks great. Got some nice big wheels, some stylish wheels. You've got the panoramic roof, which is interior and exterior, I suppose. You've got a sporty little spoiler. I quite like the rear tail lights, the bar going right across the boot. You've got day running lights, the smart headlights, which also have, you know, you can put them to auto, so when it gets dark, we go underground, it turns on. I like the lines of this car. I also think that the size of the Tiggo 7 Pro Max is a really decent size. It's not, you know, it's SUV, sure, but it's not Everest territory or Fortuner territory, where internally you're getting similar size and space, but those vehicles are just so much bigger, you know. Again, you're either into that or you're not. So yeah, styling wise, I think they've nailed it. It's got a really nice diamond sort of grille. I think if you like modding your cars or styling your cars yourself, it would be really cool to black out the whole grille and go with kind of that route. So yeah, then moving to some of the safety features of this car, which is something I want to touch on, because this is where it ties in the techiness that I was talking about as well. So in terms of safety, you're not going to go wrong with this vehicle. You've got 8 airbags in and around the vehicle, so you can turn into a marshmallow if the worst case happens, but you'll be safe. You have very cool things like adaptive cruise control, which is a really nice feature. You have front collision warning, rear collision warning. You've got cameras all over. The parking abilities of this vehicle are endless. So you've got full 360-degree view around the vehicle at all times. Well, when you're parking or reversing, and front cameras, rear cameras. So safety wise, there are loads of features. I've actually made a few notes as well. You do have your blind spot monitoring, which is cool. And then we're going to touch on that driver alert and awareness that I was talking about earlier. So amazingly, while I've been talking to you guys, recording this, I've been driving along, looking at camera, looking back at the road, looking back at camera, looking back at the road, and I haven't been alerted at all that I'm not paying attention. However, I've driven this vehicle now for a week, and driving along, this car has been shouting at me non-stop, telling me that I have not been paying attention for a long time. And I'm like, I'm alone in the vehicle with my hands on the steering wheel, facing forward and looking at the road. Yeah, very annoying, and it's like all the time. So I'm sure that that's something that you could switch off, but this is my argument. If you're going to own a vehicle that has all of these features, like, are you not buying it because it's got all of these features? Like, why would you then want to turn them all off? Anyway, like I say, it's got all of these. It's got front collision warning and all of that. It will also tell you if the car in front of you has moved away. So if you are daydreaming, you know, it goes doom, and it like tells you front car drive away or something like that, which it's delicious English, but tells you that the car is left. So let's just touch on, while I'm parked here looking at the ocean, and I can actually like concentrate on what I'm saying, to touch on some of the tech and infotainment features that this vehicle has. So you've got let me check my notes, 24.6-inch curved screen. Very nice looking. It's HD, it's very clear, there's loads of colors, it's very nice. You have Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, wireless charging pad for your phone, little charging ports. Your center console over here actually has an aircon in it, so you can keep some drinks cool. Space for 2 cup holders, bottle holders in the door, which I find aren't big enough. Like I've got that with me all day every day, and it doesn't fit in the door, so it has to roll around the passenger seat. That's a bit irritating. Yeah, and then like I said, wireless charging pad. I actually don't know, you do have a USB charging little spot in the back here, so cool. Space for the passengers to charge. Just to circle back quickly to the interior, this car has loads of space. The boot space is very decent. It's not a 7-seater, but you drop those seats down and you could fit a mountain bike in the back quite easily, or you know, you've got your standard things such as ISOFIX to fit in your car seats, which is a given in all cars nowadays, but I do find with cars nowadays they're making it much easier for those things to be fitted. For example, one of my other cars is a 2016 model, and it's actually quite a mission to fit an ISOFIX base into that car. Like, you've got to like fill between the seats to where the bars are, and then you've got to like angle it right. It's a mission. With these, they do make it very easy. Alright, so why the title of this video then? If it's coming in at a price of around 610,000 Rand, brand new out the box, and It's got all these fancy features, and it is a safe vehicle, and it does drive fairly decently. Why does it give me mood swings? And let me explain, right? I'm fully aware that you have to compare apples and apples in this day and age. So to take a daily vehicle like my SUV and compare it to something like this is probably unfair. That being said, dial back on the things that are irritating and put more effort into things that matter. So here's a little pros and cons for me. Me personally, I am not hating on the vehicle. I think it's a very good vehicle, and I'll sum that up at the end. But these are just a few things that have irritated me and a few things I really like about the car. Okay, so here goes. Alright, let's start with the pros. Things I really like about this car. Okay, not gonna number them because I'll lose count, but I think it's styled beautifully. I think it looks great on the road. I think just in general they've done a really good job there. Second thing, they give you a lot for your money. Panoramic roof, these really cool looking sports seats with aircon and heated seats, wireless charging pads. It's got a really nice sound system. It's got a Sony sound system, which I've been very happy with. That's always a big thing for me in a car. Some of the GWM or Havals, I've been a little bit underwhelmed. This really does hit the mark. I think it's very comfortable. The steering wheel's comfortable, the seats are comfortable, the drive is for the most part comfortable. I love the space in this vehicle. Got plenty of space in the back, got aircon vents over here for your passengers. Like they've really thought about the space as a family vehicle. Okay, I've already said I like some of the tech stuff. So some of the tech stuff being adaptive cruise control and all that, fantastic. I like that stuff. That stuff that you use, that stuff that is convenient. Sharp, good job. Some of the things, let's just call them cons, that drive me absolutely insane, and some things that really do not make sense to me and I don't have an answer to. And I'd like to know if any one of you watching this has a Chery. If you have the same car and you have experienced the same issues, let me know. But the driver awareness alerts, lose it, get rid of it. Like I'm paying attention on the road and you're telling me that I'm not, like, and it's just irritating. Like I don't even need to turn that off, I just don't want it. All right. I do find sometimes while you're driving along, you'll go over a speed bump or something, and the driver's seat, like that knocking sound, like it'll do that randomly and unexpectedly. So almost like you can feel it on the joints, like it's little things. I do find that there's a bit of road noise on the open road. I'm talking around 120 kilometers an hour. You do get some wind noise, which that's something that really should be addressed for sure. Is it something that would put me off buying the car? No, but just something that I've noticed. But yeah, anyway, let's not make this go on too long. There are a lot of things that I like about this car. There are a lot of things that bug me about this car. That being said, I don't believe there's any perfect car on this planet, because it comes down to what you're needing. It comes down to what you want as well. What do you want from a car? Do you want a car that has all the tech? Here it is. This is one of them. There's loads of options nowadays, but this is one of them. Do you want a car that will get you A to B reliably, fuel efficiently, and all of that? This is probably it too. Fuel consumption wise, I haven't found the fuel consumption bad at all. In fact, if I can give you the stat right now. Okay, I'm averaging around 8 liters per 100. I'm not entirely sure what the claimed fuel consumption is on this vehicle, but that's not too bad, considering that it is an SUV with all the tech and all these fancy bells and whistles. So yeah, it really comes down to what you're wanting from a car. Ooh, two other things on the cons list that really irritate me. Oh my goodness. So guys, every time you get in this car, like, okay, you've gone to the shop or whatever, you're leaving the house in the morning, you open the door, it plays you a welcome tune for what seems like an eternity. Like, it's just unnecessary. And the second thing, and this is like, it's bad, I can barely use the rear view mirror. Like, I can't look in it. I feel like it's like a fishbowl and it's zoomed, and it just like it makes me feel nauseous, like literally. Not Ioba, like, need to change that mirror. And honestly, if I bought one of these, would be the first thing I do is change that mirror. Okay. So that's really it. I do want to thank you all for watching this one again. Not again, watching this one. You can watch it again, that's cool. But thank you for the support and watching all my reviews and the comments and the likes, and it all goes a long way. There's a lot that I could really carry on talking about with this car, because there really is so much to this car in terms of technology, in terms of features and all of that, but it's not really the point of these reviews. The point of these reviews is to give an everyday person's perspective and opinion on different cars. This is one of those that I think is going to come down to a lot of personal preference. I've heard from some people, in fact most people I've spoken to that have one of these or have driven one of these, are incredibly impressed by it. Don't get me wrong, it's not that I'm not impressed by this car, I am. It's just parting with 610,000 Rand, would I be happy with it every single day? I'm not so sure. I think there are things that would really bug me. So do yourselves a favor, go and check one out. I can guarantee you that you are going to be impressed. You really will be. And I think that it's worth checking out. I think that it's worth driving. It's worth having a look at. It's worth getting into the driver's seat. Okay? But I hope that you've enjoyed this one, and really thank you so much for sticking by me and dealing with this like sinus nose sound coming out of my mouth. But again, by the way, while I wasn't recording, I was looking at the road, not talking, not doing anything, and it told me twice that I wasn't paying attention, and here I am. Nothing. Strange, guys. Thanks again. Like, subscribe, do all those things, comment, share, like, yeah, let's try and get some other brands into this channel. Have a lucky day or night.